I'm Matt Barnes. We are here at the 2021 Rallycross Fest. This is the biggest Rallycross event in North America, as far as anyone can tell. I'm here with my 2004 Ford Focus. It is a fully prepped stage rally car, a little overbuilt for these events, but a whole lot of fun to drive. So this is a 2004 Ford Focus. It's highly modified in some ways, but still mostly stock in other ways. It came with a 2.3 liter Duratec engine. It still has the stock engine in it, which is mostly stock inside, but heavily modified bolt-ons, completely custom intake, completely custom exhaust, limited slip differential, quick shift gear shifter, upgraded brakes, hydraulic handbrake, heavy duty, lots of travel suspension, strong gravel tires and rims. What else? And of course all the safety gear, full roll cage. It's going to have a full fire suppression system soon, basically as safe as it gets. Lots more performance mods to come, but that's what we got so far.
Quick brief update. Okay, so we're talking about the Duratec versus the Zetec and why you moved to the Duratec.
Yeah, so biggest factors, physically larger displacement, so more power across the entire range. All aluminum block, which means it's more lightweight. I think this saves something like 80 pounds off the front end of the car, which is fantastic. It's fully sequential out of the box versus the Zetec that ran wasted spark and batch injection. And it's got the reverse. Zetec always had the exhaust on the front, intake on the back. This one puts it the other way, intake on the front, exhaust on the back, which is a more efficient design. What else can I say? That's more or less it, I think.
Your shifting setup here is pretty special looking as well.
Yeah. I had to. That shifter that's inside required custom cables and required a custom linkage on this side, but that came from Germany, and so the transmission side of this car is different than the one they had in Germany, so I had to source one of those shift turrets for my transmission from Europe.
Wow.
Which wasn't easy.
No.
But so I had that shifter sitting on my shelf for like probably almost a year before I could install it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. So then you've got the semi-professional wiring harness going on over here.
Yeah. So I've been, semi-professional is the right word. It's got all the high-end DR25 sheathing, if you know what that is.
Yeah.
You can get down in there. You can see the Auto Sport connectors on the bulkhead.
Yeah.
This one's unfinished. There's still a lot that's unfinished. But like those two connectors on the bulkhead, those are running everything on the engine. This one is the chassis stuff. This is headlights. This is the horn. This is the non-critical stuff over here. And once it's done, I'm going to boot that because it gets completely weather sealed. So once you close this off, you can't make any changes to these harnesses. So that's why some of them are still open, because I'm still finishing it.
Yeah. Dang.
Suspension is huge. I can't believe I haven't even talked about that yet.
Yeah, so what suspension are we running?
So this is a Hotbit suspension. It reminds me, you were asking before how I got into it.
Yeah.
There's a whole story I forgot to get into. I can start there. Let me start there.
Yeah.
Because, so when I first got into this, I was probably, I'm going to say about 20 years old. So 20 years ago now. I first learned about the sport of rally through video games. I was playing PlayStation with some friends, and they had a rally game, and I really loved it, and I thought it was so cool, and I wanted to learn more about it. Then nothing happened for a little while, but then out of high school, I got my first real job, and the guy that I worked for had a giant picture on his wall of it blown up of his rally car, of him racing. And the first time I saw that, I'm like, oh my God, you do that? That's amazing. I want to do that so bad. And so that guy kind of became my mentor a little bit. He helped me out, and he still helps me out to this day. His name's Peter Riley. He imports the Hotbit suspension from Malaysia and is the main North American dealer for them. So I'm semi-sponsored in a way for the suspension. The Hot Bits is great. This is a gravel spec rally suspension, so it's extra thick, extra strong, extra long travel. It's taken all the abuse I've thrown at it. It's fully adjustable, so I can fine tune it to work the way I want. It just works, and it's absolutely necessary in a full rally car to have a good suspension.
Yeah, I mean, really, you guys take advantage. It looks like you've definitely got some modifications going. Looks like these shock towers have seen.
Yeah, these are, normally this is all round at the top, but this is fully reinforced. Here, these bars, they tie back through the firewall, so this is attached to the roll cage, to the main structure. So
Wow.
you can draw a full structural line all the way from the front towers all the way to the back towers through the roll cage. So it stiffens up the car completely.
Yeah.
Makes it really safe in a crash, and also makes being stiffer is better for handling. When the normal cars will flex when you're going hard through corners and hitting bumps, and that makes it harder to control them. Stiffer is better.
Yeah. Wow. So, I mean, could you grab this suspension, just throw it on a stock Focus, or does it require this reinforced modification?
The reinforcement is separate from the suspension itself. You can absolutely put an upgraded suspension on one of these cars or any car. One of the things you'll find though is if you don't reinforce it, because the suspension is so much stronger, then the frame of the car becomes the weak point. And you don't want that. You want something that's easy to replace to be the weak point. So you want to make the car stronger than the suspension, which I think we've got here. As strong as this suspension is, the car is stronger.
Definitely.
These are trumpet intakes. So on the inside of this manifold, each of these inlet runners is trumpeted.
Okay.
So the idea is it's supposed to give as much benefit as individual throttle bodies without actually being individual throttle bodies. This started as a bone stock, regular, everyday Ford Focus. I found it on Auto Trader at a good price. It was in really good shape. I think some nice lady must have been driving it to church every week or something.
There you go.
So it was in really good shape. It was perfect for me to, I literally tore this down to a bare shell. There was nothing when the cage was built. And then I put it all back together again. And I'm pretty proud of this. I did all this car, except for the safety welding, except for the roll cage. Someone else did that. But every nut, every bolt, every wire, everything in this car was done by hand by me. And I'm pretty proud of that fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt,
Yeah.
thank you so much for talking about your awesome 2004 Ford Focus. This thing is so rad.
Thanks for chatting with me.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
been
if
fun.
people wanted to keep up with you, where should they look for you?
You can find me on Instagram. Mountain Dog Rally is the name of the team. Yeah, just on Instagram.